The main thing on today's agenda really was this pesticides in Europe, this new legislation. What do you think has been driving this debate in the EU? Is it political? Is it emotional? What's your views on that?
Well, obviously, I mean, it's ultimately driven from an emotional perspective, where people have genuine fears about and concerns about pesticides and the use of pesticides. And I think that obviously ultimately drives the political debate, which will be based on public opinions. Now, whether that's necessarily scientifically proven, whether those concerns are disproportionate from the general populace, and also whether those concerns actually are balanced is another matter. What is interesting is when we take the public round farms and when pesticide issues are debated, the realisation of their importance and the realisation of the safety. Now that's that's because it's absolutely key.
Do you think that's been the lack of thing that there's not been this education of people with where their foods come from? We're just so used to going to the supermarket that we're sort of remote from agriculture now. Is that half the problem, you think?
Without a doubt. I mean, we've got over 50% of the global population is now urban. That's the global population. And in the UK, that's obviously far higher. And so people are increasingly divorced from their food production and also nature. And it is incredibly interesting when you take people around farms and you demonstrate about the safety of pesticides, the procedures and the regulations surrounding the use of pesticides, but also, from a farmer's perspective, how they are used. They're used safely. They're obviously used with, calibrated equipment, disposed of if there's, anyone washing down pet sprayers and things like that. So all those things are actually for the public, a reassurance that actually their use and their place in a balanced farming system is absolutely key. And that's a very important aspect.